It's the teacher's space, my favorite teacher's place, where teachers laugh and talk, my favorite teachers share. It's the teacher's space, my favorite teacher's place, where teachers' life matter each and everywhere. Oh my! Gina said that.
Welcome, viewers, to the second episode of the Teacher's Space where teachers' lives matter. I'm your host, Lydia. To those of you joining me for the second time, welcome. And to the persons who are new here, feel free to click the subscribe button and to interact in the comment section. It's a teacher's space, but all are welcome. All right, I am almost certain that commendations were given to the teachers from the powers that be, but I must add my personal commendation to my colleagues for a job well done. I ask of you to look in any mirror, get a mirror, look in the mirror. Good long look at yourself, and you see a reflection of resilience and strength. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. I remember when we started out the academic year in October, we were looking like this. In the morning, we were fresh and blooming. And by May, June, we were looking like this. All right, it was quite an eventful year. And for the teachers who opted, who volunteered to do summer school, I don't know where you get the extra energy from. I'm not giving Red Bull or Power any free advertisement, but I think that you're drinking energy drink to stay afloat. Anyway, for those of us who choose to stay at home and to recalibrate to meet September morning, as most persons would call it September morning, all right, I implore of you, do some self-healing, go on some road trips. For those who can't afford to go on the mini vacation, do some road trips, do some exercising, stay fit, because for most of the year we're seated around a device and engaging students in online activities. Learn a new language, learn to play an instrument, and so on. All right, so in my very first episode, for those who were with me, I interviewed Tiffy, and I didn't even share with you anything about myself to let you become familiar with the person behind this brainchild. All right, the teacher's space. So I'm going to share with you, before I have the teachers sharing about their most eventful period on the school calendar, I'm going to be sharing with you something about myself. All right, I'll try to keep it short and simple. Personality first. So, au contraire, I'm a very shy and quiet person. A lot of persons will say otherwise, all right? So depending on who you are, what energy you give me, then I give you that side of me, the quiet and shy person, or I can be the vivacious person. All right? So I am not bipolar. I put it out there. It's not bipolar. It's just different shades of you. All right? So I attended, fresh out of high school, I attended Catholic College of Mandeville, that's CCM. It was right there on Caledonia Road in Mandeville. I learned that it is now in Williamsville, Manchester, and those were the most memorable 3 years of college for me. All right, so fresh out of high school, attending Catholic College, it was fairly new. It was an intimate setting because everybody knew everybody. We knew the lecturers and persons we needed to go to whenever we had any challenges. All right, so that's where I attended. So when I left college now, 2005, I went to seek for a job. Back then, the degree wasn't so emphasized, so I left school. I wanted to work, know what it feels like to earn some money and so on. So I went to work. And when I went to the principals to seek job, they said, but imagine now, 16 years ago, I am very much small now, so imagine 16 years ago, I was even tinier. And I went to them and they said, but the students are bigger than you. Do you have any experience? And of course, I'm fresh out of college, which is the familiar story. So I had no experience. And the principals, most of them said to me, go and get some experience and come back. All right. So I began working in preschool, they call it. a prep school which wasn't so developed as these prep schools are today, and so I was working like to keep afloat and for the experience which the principals recommended that I should get. So I happened to be out of work for 3 years, not one, not two, but 3 years I was out of employment. And for the very first year, it was okay. You get to relax away from the noise, the confusion of work. But with the resources going down and so on, you're not independent anymore. And then afterwards, it turned into depression and anxiety and all these things. The symptoms were the headache, the dizziness, nausea, nervousness, and all these things came with it. And I felt like I wasn't being productive and so on. Persons out there may be able to identify with what I'm saying. All right, so you're young and you want to be productive and contribute to society, and then here you are not working. All right, so I did a little volunteering here and there and so on. So fast forward to about 2011. I got a job in Kingston, and then I relocated from the country and came to the big city, me, myself, and I. All right, so what had happened is that I had applied to a school that has the same name, a primary school that has the same name as a prep school, right? Similar name. And I got a call. I remember getting a call to say, we see an application here on our desks for you, and it was addressed to so and so school. And I was apologizing because I was saying sorry, but they said to me that no need to apologize. We are inviting you to an interview, and that's when I came to the interview. All right, so imagine I came to Kingston, I went to the interview. When I went to the interview, there were about, I don't want to exaggerate, but there were about 20 persons vying for the position. All right. And then there I was from Catholic College, where everybody wanted to know, where is that college? Is it accredited? And then you have the giant of the Michael and the Joseph and everywhere else, Bethlehem and so on. And I was really not optimistic, but before I even reached the country, I got a call that I was successful in the interview. So I relocated to Kingston and I started working at the prep school. When they told me the position that I was going to go in for at the interview, they said it's for grade 1, right? But lo and behold, September morning again, when I turned up for the job, and you're there, I heard that I was going to teach grade 5. And then I was going to teach El Espanol, computer slash secretary. So I wore 4 hats on this small head. All right, so I did it to the best of my ability, and that was training ground for me. All right, at one point I was even security. I hope they don't sue me for that. So I was even security, head cook, and back washer. All right, so I stepped out of that and I started working at a ministry paid job, and then presently I am at the St. Richard's Primary School. All right, so that is just a synopsis of my journey as a teacher, roughly 16 years minus the 3 years that I was out of the system for. All right, so right now they say in order to be successful, whatever you perceive success to be, because different persons describe success as different things to them. All right, to me, you have to be able to bounce back from all the setbacks that were there. All right, how high you jump from all the setbacks that were there. So with my experience, and I cannot say for anybody else's experience because I am in my own skin, so I can speak to my what happened with me and how I dealt with it. So while I'm working at St. Richard's Primary School, I got grade 2. So imagine, I used to teach grade 5 and grade 6 GSAT, the last GSAT students I taught in that set. And then I got grade 2 to teach. At first I was a bit apprehensive, and then I embraced it somewhat. And I had to go down. Now you have the little children whose attention span may be shorter, so you have to engage them for those sessions, 30 minutes, 45-minute sessions. And notice that with my personality now, I have to be writing poems, songs, telling stories, and those sorts of things. All right, so that's when the creative juices started flowing. Maybe it was embedded somewhere before, but that's when it manifested, it surfaced to the top. And so it was during that time now that I started, when everybody was complaining about the shutdown. I started writing because I don't have anywhere to go, so I made use of the time and I started writing. So I wrote a book which I call, it's a children's book, which I call Away from School, and it is self-published and on Amazon right now. And I also started the Baker Tutor Services. It's almost a year now. All right, so that is what is happening in the journey for me. So today we're going to be having some teachers who are going to be sharing. They are not in studio, I'm solo in studio right now, so they'll be sharing about their favorite calendar event of the year. All right, so on the calendar, September, we have the different things going down, the Peace Day, Sports Day, all those things coming down. Different persons like different things. Personally, my favorite calendar event is when school get locked at the last part of June. All right. So just joking. I enjoy everything. I try to embrace every aspect of school year, and I like the Peace Day, I like the Christmas concerts and so on. And what we find out this year is that almost everything can be done virtually. I saw a colleague on my WhatsApp status showing that they did a virtual sports day. So I didn't even bother to ask her, even though I was interested to find out how they pull off a virtual sports day. So different teachers will be sharing what is their favorite calendar event as we see. All right.
Hello everyone, my name is Charlicia Baker. So, my most exciting time of the academic school year is sports day. Yes, go Blue House, go Green House. Yes, the camaraderie, I love that, right? The cheers, there's just a buzz across the campus during that time. It's also a season where talents are unearthed, and colleagues who you thought could only walk in heels, you see them mashing up races. There we often have some surprises, some pleasant surprises, right? And the beautifully penned lyrics for the different cheers. I look forward to all of that, right? Now the suspense, right, when the scoreboard is being upgraded or when the new scores are about to be announced. I love that little still quiet moment, and then you hear the cheers going off, right? So sports day, definitely the most exciting time for me, right? I just love sports day, and the activities leading up to sports day. Teachers getting into a little heated conversation about the different houses, but then out of respect, we agree to disagree and we move on respectfully, right? So yay, my most exciting time of the year, sports day.
My favorite school calendar event is Math Month. The month of March was celebrated as Math Month under the theme Born to Do Math. So we had a series of activities to bring awareness and to develop the love for math for our students. Now, we had a week that was a competition week, such as we had a math competition, math hats competition, we had the Did You Know feature, and we also have the dub and jingle math competition. All right. So for the jingle and dub competition, the students were supposed to come up with some creative pieces that is all about math. Now each class was given a strand to work with. Now I remember one student, a 5-year-old, his dub was like this: Maths is fun and I like to do it, yeah. Maths is fun and I like to do it. Yeah, I learned addition, subtraction. Right now I'm doing fraction. Maths is fun and I like to do it. That's a little baby, a little infant. Now we also had the hat competition, math hat competition, where the students made creative hats, but these hats depict some mathematical concepts, such as we had shape hats, we had geometry hats, we had algebra hats. These were just awesome and creative. Now, the Did You Know feature was the icing on the cake. And the students went all out. Even for me, I have learned some things that I didn't even realize. A little infant, about 4-year-old, said, "Did you know that the number 4 is the only number that the name is spelled with the same amount of numbers? Four, 4 letters." Another one said, "Did you know that numbers and letters are made of straight lines, slant lines, and curvy lines?" Math Month was such an exciting event at my school. And guess what? The students now love and appreciate mathematics.
Hello everyone. My name is Tirika Berger and I'm a teacher at an infant school. I was asked to share my most memorable experience for the last school year. I would say that my most memorable experience would have been our school's very first virtual sports day. I know that when you think of virtual sports day, you're probably wondering, sports day, virtual, how does that work, right? So students were not required to do any races because I guess you can picture them being online and running to a finish line. That wouldn't make sense. So what we did, we had a meeting with our teachers and we came up with different activities for our students to engage in. So we did shoes and socks race, we did math race, we did sight words race, we did catch the bus race, so they have to put on their shirt, so they put on their own shirt, and they put on the shoes and they put on the socks, but they weren't required to lace up their shoes because some persons are not able to lace their shoes because we're looking at students that are at the preschool level. And we also did activities for parents and teachers, and the parents were very excited and they gave their full support. So we did bun and cheese race, and we also did soda drinking race, right? And it was very exciting. We also had a banner competition, and in this activity, both teachers and parents came together to create banners, right? So the banners could have been done using cloth or any material that was available. If you're tech savvy and into this whole technology era and doing everything online, you're able to also create your banner online or to create a mini video with a banner. And we also had a jingle competition. So we had a jingle competition for just the parents, and we also had a jingle competition for just the teachers. Now this was very exciting because everybody came out with their different songs and everybody had their own little rhythms and the tunes were fun. And I can tell you it was just amazing, right? I guess in the beginning, when I was asked to do a virtual sports day, because at the time I was the leader of the sports club, and my principal asked me what I thought about doing a virtual sports day. Like at first I was like, oh my, that's going to be a lot of work, and how are we going to go about doing this? But as the time progressed and we started planning, we found that it was easier to prepare the different activities, and I was also able to create a promotion video. So we sent out the video to our different class groups, and so parents and teachers and everyone was just well aware of the sports day and the sports activities that were coming up. So in preparation, we also had the teachers meet with the different students from each house to prep the students. So they gave the students a list of sight words. They went through the words. They gave them examples of the math questions that we would have been doing for the math race. And The students were also doing their catch the bus practice online, which helped us to prepare for the virtual sports day. Now, knowing me, I don't like public speaking and I do not like being in the spotlight. So I was like, I'm going to host a virtual sports day. How am I going to go about doing this? Like, I just did not see it happening. But I guess with the challenge, I was able to rise to the occasion and do what was required of me. It was a very great sports day. It lasted for 3 days. So the first day we had the 3-year-olds, and the second day we had the 4 and 5-year-old students, and on the third day we had the teacher and the parent activities. Now all of this was done on Zoom, and on the final day we used Google Meet. So we were thinking about persons probably having challenges and students probably having connection issues, being a part of an activity and the internet's connection is poor, and just expecting the unexpected. But everything ran smoothly. I am grateful. And the team of us that work together, the student welfare team and the sports club, it was a really, 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 really great experience for us all. It was the very first time that we were doing something like that, and it was just amazing. And I am looking forward to many more virtual sports days. And I can say that I have grown with that experience because now I feel more confident in myself, in leading any event and just taking on any new challenge that is given to me. So that was my greatest experience for the last school year.
My favorite school calendar event is Read Across Jamaica Day. That is the day when my passion comes out. I have a passion for reading, for books, for delving into a storyline and getting lost. So on this day, I'm in my aki, as the Jamaicans would say. I'm in my element. I'm having a whale of a time. I get to share with the children books that I have read, new books that are out, things like that. I get to find out what are their favorite cartoon characters, what are their favorite stories, what movies they like to watch and why. Do you know that many of the stories that we read from when we were knee high are now movies? Right? Comic books. I used to hide and read my uncle comic, and now I am all up into the DC characters and the movies. So guys, asked what is my favorite school calendar event? Obviously, it's a must. Read Across Jamaica Day. It's the bomb for me.
Teacher's space, my favorite teacher's place, where teachers laugh and talk, my favorite teachers share. It's the teacher's space, my favorite teacher's place, where teachers' life matter each and everywhere. Oh my! Gina said that.